Okay. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on Facebook Live. I am Nicole Moccasin, the CHW in Lincoln. Today we are talking with Alison Jordan, our diabetes program registered dietitian. Today we'll be speaking on women's health.
Thank you.
Alison?
Yes. So today I will be talking all about women's health, specifically getting into, the biological health needs of women. So for women or people who experience things such as pregnancy or menopause, it's very important to make health a priority. Actively working on factors you can control can help improve your health now and hopefully prevent disease or other health complications. So I'm going to be going over a little bit about some women to look up to, some women who put their health first. I want to highlight a group of people. I'm also going to go into some healthy habits and then really dive into nutrition through the life cycle, so different stages for women. And then I'm going to take some questions at the end, okay? So starting at the beginning, I want to highlight a group of women. There is a group of women who live the longest. This group of women, out of the whole world, they've seen them live long and have healthy, good quality lives. These are the women of Okinawa, Japan, so very far away, but I think it's kind of cool to highlight this group to talk about some of the habits that these women have that can help lead us to some healthier habits. So overall, they tend to have less cancer, less heart disease, and less dementia than people in America, especially women. They really focus on making plants a priority on their plate. Some main staples they eat are actually sweet potatoes and rice, as well as other veggies, legumes, and whole grains. They really like to garden, so they try to have gardens year-round. The weather is a little bit different there, but in the garden they have all those plants, as well as it's a good form of exercise and stress reduction too. They also eat soy products, things like tofu and miso soup, which helps protect the heart and protect against breast cancer specifically. They also spend a lot of time outside. Like I said, they're gardening and moving, so they're getting a lot of sunshine and vitamin D. So just some easy, healthy habits from growing your own food, spending time outside, and really focusing on what you're putting on your plate can really set you up for success to live a long, healthy life like these women. So I want to talk about some things you can start doing here. So women are actually, the leading cause of death for women is heart disease. So healthy habits you can do specifically targeted at heart health are some things such as limiting alcohol intake. For women, it's 1 drink or less a day. Quitting or, not starting to smoke. Getting a good amount of sleep, so whether that's 7 to 9 hours or what's right for you. Getting daily movement, about 20 to 30 minutes a day. And especially for older women, having good weight resistance exercise and stuff to help you have good balance as well. And then getting into nutrition, having a healthy eating pattern, and I'm going to explain that a little bit more. And then regularly going to meet with your healthcare provider and just being up to date on what you need to do with your health. So talking about a general healthy eating pattern, it may look different for everybody. For women, there's many things we hear, different diets, different things going on. So making sure we're really following what's right for us, whether that's meeting with your doctor, a dietitian, and really learning what you need. Some common healthy eating patterns are the Mediterranean style of eating, the US healthy style of eating, and even more of a plant-focused or vegetarian style of eating. However, all of these can be put together to get the same principles. Eating various different food categories, lots of good fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and low-fat dairy can really set you up for success. So not trying to restrict too much and cut out certain things, but getting the nutrients you need from foods. Now I want to kind of go into some specific life stages. So from teenagers all the way to older adults, but specifically for women, what are some nutrition considerations in each of these different life stages? So starting with teenage girls, at this time, this is when we form the most bone mass. So when you are a teenager, this is your time to make sure you grow up with strong bones. Some things that they need more of are calcium and vitamin D to make those strong bones. That can come from dairy. It can also come from leafy greens, soy products, other fortified foods that they add those nutrients to. But really making sure that's a priority. As well as iron. Girls at this age tend to need more iron than boys. So making sure you're getting those iron-rich foods from those leafy greens and proteins as well. So going on to younger adults, this is when bodies are changing more as well. So just making sure you're meeting your energy needs, actually eating enough for your body to grow and stay healthy, as well as moving your body and fueling what you need for that. So as women move on to ages to have pregnancy, if that's something you're planning, nutrition needs really change during this time. So women in this group have very unique needs. And again, this would be a great time, even in the planning stages, to talk with somebody like a dietitian about what that would look like in terms of nutrition. Overall, more energy, more protein to grow a healthy baby is very important. So what you currently eat now will look very different when you're going through pregnancy. It might require you to eat more to get enough of those nutrients. It's also common to need a prenatal supplement, if not other additional supplements, to fill in those gaps to make sure you do grow a healthy baby. If you are planning pregnancy and go through, and after pregnancy you want to breastfeed, again, nutrition needs would be different during this time, and that's very unique to women who are going through this. You need more energy to be able to supply enough milk to the baby, so making sure you're eating enough to stay strong through the breastfeeding phase. Now, women, as we get older, going through menopause will also change your nutrition needs. You have lower levels of estrogen in your body after menopause, and this puts you more at risk for diseases such as heart disease, stroke, diabetes, osteoporosis, other things as well. So it's important to plan for that. And again, going back to when women are younger, really setting yourself up for success. So get enough of the calcium and vitamin D and nutrients to make sure you get good bone mass, good energy stores as you go through life. But women, as they're older, especially need more calcium and vitamin D to keep their bones strong because they're more at risk for osteoporosis. And your nutrition needs may decrease too. You're moving less. You may need less calories, less nutrients throughout the day. Your appetite may even change. So it may be important to have those conversations about, am I getting enough as my body's changing? But those are just some considerations for women through the life cycle. It changes, but women's needs may be very different than their male counterparts. So knowing what you need if you're going through pregnancy or through menopause, making sure you're getting those specific nutrients in there can really help you stay healthy. So now I would be happy to take any questions.
Okay. What is a good weight for women?
That's a great question. I think women, more than other people, tend to worry about weight a lot. A lot of healthcare providers put a big emphasis on weight. We do know weight can be correlated with lots of health problems. However, being so hyper-focused on weight is not always the best either. We need to think about our mental health as well, because that can really affect your risk for other things. So what you have to do to keep your body healthy is, those daily healthy habits and nothing drastic to try to change your weight. There's no specific healthy weight range. It's going to be very different for each individual. So again, that might be a conversation you have with your provider and knowing what you need to do to be healthy, but not just affecting your weight, but your quality of life, setting yourself up for that longevity like those women in Okinawa, those healthy habits.
Okay. Do women need any special supplements?
Good question. Women might. It depends where they're at in that life stage. Supplements fill in nutrient gaps, so maybe what you're not getting from food or drinks. Some specific groups may be, like I said, pregnancy, getting that prenatal vitamin, or even later on in life after menopause, you might need some extra calcium and vitamin D to make sure your bones stay healthy. Or even younger women too, just if they're missing certain things from food to fill in those gaps. So supplements can be needed, especially in those tricky life stages if you're not getting enough from food or drinks.
Okay. And what diet is best for women?
When it comes to diets, going back to the weight conversation, diets are often used to change our weight. Diets tend to be restrictive, so sometimes people are cutting out specific categories of food like carbs or fat, or maybe even cutting out specific meals, say breakfast if you're fasting longer. These diets sometimes have benefits, but in the long run, you're cutting out certain foods and certain nutrients that can really help you. So if you're younger and you're dieting, you may not be getting enough calcium, and you may have even worse bone problems as you get older. So it's thinking ahead for the future you. So in terms of diets, following a healthy eating pattern, but making sure you're getting all of those categories. So I wouldn't say there's a specific diet, but following a healthy eating pattern such as vegetarian or Mediterranean, finding what's right for you and the foods you like, but making healthy choices.
Okay, so what are the some foods to eat if you do not like eating like seafoods?
I think it's common that people don't want to eat seafood. I think you either love it or you don't. Now there's some in-betweens. Maybe you just like canned tuna or shrimp. So really thinking about what's categorized as seafood, and maybe you like a few of those, so making sure you do include those and not forget about them. But if you don't like any seafood for the taste, or you're avoiding it for any ethical reasons, there's definitely other options out there to get those healthy fats, because that is what fish has. Lots of those omega-3s that keep your heart healthy. And omega-3s are especially needed during pregnancy. So for those women who are planning or are pregnant, omega-3s are needed. So if you're not eating the seafood, some options would be walnuts, flax seeds, some oils like canola or soybean oil or even avocado oil. Sometimes there's some foods that are fortified with these omega-3s. Some new products out there are special milks like flax milk or even pea protein milk where they add these omega-3s in. So there's some fun products out there. Or even, a supplement may be needed in this situation. So whether it's fish or from algae, getting those healthy omega-3s, if you're not getting it from food, a supplement may be needed.
Okay. And what are some healthy habits women can start working on today?
Today is a good day to start changing, and I like to say start small. That's always the most realistic. You may know everything you need to do or a bunch of things you need to change, but starting with one thing is perfectly okay and more likely to lead to success. So some things you can start today is as simple as making sure you're eating throughout the day. So not skipping meals. You can use the My Plate. If you're not familiar with that, check out myplate.gov. We can share that here on Facebook as well. But the My Plate is a picture and a tool to help you kind of follow a healthy eating pattern. So finding the foods you like to fit into those categories, or even just starting with some joyful movement or any stress reduction can be just as important as what you're eating. So finding one of those things that works for you and just starting small.
All right. Well, thank you, Allison.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Well, thank you for joining us today for Facebook Live. Hope you have a good day.
Thank you.